And that's right, it is Friday, so don't forget the American Legion Post 69 Fish Fries today, starting at noon, going till 8 o'clock. And that is open to the public, so you don't have to be a member of the American Legion. You can dine in, get it dine in or take out. And remember, also the American Legion now smoke-free, which makes it a lot nicer. Hey, well, I hope you guys are enjoying the nice white morning out there. Yay, some snow. Hopefully we get some more of it. I know there are those of you listening and watching that do not like snow, but too bad, because we do need it. And hey, stay inside, look at it through your window, and you'll be just fine. Well, this morning we are going to be talking Longhorn Baseball. It's our Longhorn Spotlight program in the studio. Coach Brian Young, how you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for having us.
Hey, that is so good. And Zach and Michael. That's right, Michael. Why was that hard to remember, man? So Zach, Michael, what years are you in? I think Zach, are you senior?
I'm a senior.
Senior. How about you, Michael?
I'm a junior.
A junior?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you've been playing baseball for a while because
Yes, sir.
I think there's a relation, right, between Coach Young here, Zach Young, a little bit, yeah? So when did you start playing baseball?
I've been playing my whole life.
Yeah, just like when he started walking?
Pretty much. He was throwing balls while he was on the floor. So yeah.
Oh yeah? How many windows have been broken in your house?
He didn't get hard baseballs
Okay.
for very long in the house. So,
Smart.
yeah.
You're very smart because I know when I was young, oh my gosh, there were so many windows broken in our house. Not like main windows, but I guess we had like a little greenhouse thing or a little, that had a wall that I'd throw the ball against. And oh man, I just broke so many windows. I don't know how my dad just didn't beat me, because yeah, broke a lot of windows. How about you, Michael? How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was like 5 or 6. Started a little late, but been playing since minors and Little League.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice, and that's Payson Little League
Yes,
that you played? And did
Yeah.
you play in Payson Little League also?
Yes, sir.
All right, and that's about to start. I know opening day coming up soon, and great program, both Payson Little League baseball and softball. So they're doing a great job with that. So do you guys play any other sports, Michael?
No, I don't.
No, just baseball?
yeah.
How about you, Zach?
Same here.
Just baseball?
Yes, sir.
Hey, nice, okay. Do you guys have summer like programs, or do you play on like travel teams or summer teams, or is it mainly just during the school year?
So we used to have kind of Payson like travel team
Mhm.
that we used to play in the winter, but we stopped doing it this year and we kind of just play games for the school.
Gotcha. Okay, how about you, Michael? Same thing?
Yeah, same thing. We used to play. We have a summer team for our high school.
Mm-hmm.
We used to play summer games. Have
Yeah.
people come up and we play on our field.
Gotcha. Do you find, Coach Young, like the summer programs, are they pretty popular in other areas in the valley? Do you have like a lot of other schools or the players that are playing year-round?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of our competition is playing year-round, whether kids are playing club ball or not. That's one of the things that was unique for us this off-season is we decided to spend more time together as a team instead of having our kids kind of branch out to other club teams or anything. So I think we probably played about 12 games as a team in June, and then we started playing again in October. So our teams have been playing games together in October, November, December, into January, and then just a quick couple weeks off before we started officially in February.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm thinking of other sports and like team aspects. So thinking of like basketball, football, where maybe kind of knowing what your teammates are going to do because you're all kind of moving together. Where baseball, how is that? I guess the importance or what comes from like the team doing more things together, like you're talking about, instead of just going off and playing on their own, playing on different teams.
Yeah, I think you see a couple areas. I mean, a big focus for us is communication. When
Okay.
we're on the field defensively, our players, there's an expectation to communicate, and then the more that they've been together and been in different positions where they've worked together,
Mhm.
I think that makes that easier. A lot of that starts with our catcher, so that's Michael is a catcher for us, and he's kind of the lead in the communication that goes out to the rest of the guys in the field. And so, the more experience he has working with different guys, that helps. And then that pitcher-catcher relationship is a really big deal too. And so having our catchers really understand each of our pitchers and kind of know what they want to throw and how they want to work and how their pitches move, it makes his job a lot easier. So I think what we're seeing right now is a lot of work that we've put in the offseason is starting to pay off, and I think that's what you're asking about.
Gotcha, okay, so Michael, you're the catcher?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha, and you're a pitcher, right, Zach?
Yes, sir.
What other positions do you play?
I played third and first also.
Third and first off, okay. So, yeah, I can see, because the catcher, yeah, definitely, I mean, you're kind of letting the team, your teammates know,
Mhm.
like, where the throw's gonna go, how
Yeah.
many outs,
Mhm.
kind of really, talking to them, and the better relationship you have with your teammates, then obviously that is easier
Yeah. Yes,
to
sir.
do.
Mhm.
And you kind of have a feel for them, and, yeah.
Yeah.
Know, like, just know a little bit more of, like, maybe what they're gonna do, or how they're gonna react, or
Yep.
or things of that nature. So have you always been a catcher?
No, I just started like my freshman year. I've always been kind of middle infield, second base a lot.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So what made you switch to catcher?
I don't know. It's kind of just losing the love for the game, and catching is the one thing I wanted to do.
Really?
Yeah, and I got a chance, and I capitalized on it, and I never looked back.
Gotcha. So when you say, like, kind of losing that love for the game, was it just kind of getting boring for you, or you just it didn't
yeah.
feel the same, or?
I kind of just wanted to be in every play.
Okay.
Getting bored sitting, like, watching other people make plays.
Especially second. I mean, second usually isn't like the hottest
Yeah.
spot. So, I mean, I can see that. If
Mhm.
you're a second base, I'm like, okay, come on, I want more. Boy, to go from second to catcher, though, that's a pretty big transition.
Mm-hmm. It was rough.
It was
It
rough.
was rough.
Yeah. How long, because it was rough, was there a point where you thought, man, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to be catcher?
No, I
No?
think I just stick with it.
Yeah.
Just, I think I got to play in one like travel ball game,
Yeah.
and then I realized it was what I wanted to do.
Huh. Well, because catcher, I mean, that's the most physical position.
It's a tough spot. I mean, you get beat up a little bit. We want you to get your head down and block the ball, and you're taking it off your face mask and your
Oh,
chest
yeah.
protector, and I mean, it's tough. You're squatting, the whole game.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, I mean, and you get a pitcher that comes in and is a little bit wild, and then it's up to you
Exactly.
to control the ball. I mean, so it is. It's a tough spot, and it's probably underappreciated at times, like a center in football,
Yeah.
where you're like touching the ball every time, and you're a huge part of what's going on. So yeah, it's a hard position.
Yeah, so what are the most challenging throws for you, in the dirt, or the high ones, or ones that you really have to stretch for?
Probably the high ones.
The high ones? Yeah.
I think the ones in the dirt, it's really just mental,
Okay.
blocking it.
Yeah.
I think the high ones are tough to get to because you're already in a squatting position.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, huh. And how do you, I would think, because I never was a catcher, but I think one of the funnest parts of it would be throwing people out. Throwing
Yeah.
people out at second. That has to be so satisfying.
Yeah, whenever you make a throw.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. So, so you've been catching since freshman year.
Yep.
So how long have you been catching for Zach? Well, he's been pitching. Is it
Uh,
like a year? This is the first
well-
year, or last year too?
yeah, it's the first year.
First year?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So last year, different catcher, was it Dylan?
Dylan caught a lot last year. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. So catcher, how big, how important is the catcher to you, Zach? Being the pitcher, the relationship, just your comfort level with the catcher, all of it. How important is that?
Well, being able to build up a really great relationship with your catcher, I think, is a huge ability.
Mhm.
Being able to pitch to Michael over the whole summer and winter, and then coming into the season, has been a great opportunity to where I couldn't have that before. And he just knows exactly where I want to put the ball and what I want to do with it every single time. It's been great this year.
Also, Michael, you seem like a pretty chill dude. So does he help calm you down, Zach? 'Cause he can help-
100%, yes.
Yeah, I can see that where he could have a calming factor. Because in the game, man, the
Yeah.
intensity, and you're just like amped up. Take the breath, come on,
Yeah.
don't get in your head. Is that the biggest part for you, I think, in your head? You're
100%.
pitching?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a trust level too, because I mean, there might be a time where we want a pitcher to bounce a ball, to see what we can get a hitter to take a swing at.
Yeah.
And if there's runners on base, that pitcher has to trust that the catcher's gonna block it and do some of those things. And so the trust level between the two of them is really important.
Yeah, because that's where runs scored, all of it, it's always on the pitcher. It's always on the pitcher, and I mean, yeah, there's errors or, whatever, but it's always on the pitcher. So you're out there and runs are being scored and you're like, oh crap. And you're thinking, oh man, what are my teammates thinking? What is everyone thinking? And it's like, okay, come on, get out of your head, just get out of the inning, get back in the dugout. So I can see where, a catcher that can like, okay, come on, you're good, you got this,
Yeah.
That's,
Absolutely, and as a coach, you only get to come out and talk to your pitcher so many times during the game. And so if your catcher has the ability to go out and calm your pitcher down, set up some pitches, do a little coaching on the field, and that's an important aspect of what our catcher can do too.
well, that's, yeah, I didn't realize. So how many times can a coach go out to?
So we can come out 3 times before we have to make a
Change,
pitching
right?
change.
Oh, okay.
And if you go out and make a pitching change, that one doesn't count. But basically, you can come out and talk to your pitcher 3 times in a 7-inning game.
Gotcha, and that's 3 times total, not to each pitcher.
Right,
But just
yes.
total.
Yeah,
Almost
absolutely.
like timeouts, huh?
Yep, exactly.
So you have to be strategic on how you use those.
Yep.
And is that true assistant or head?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, whichever coach comes out. Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's interesting, I didn't realize that. So you only get 3 opportunities. So yeah, I can see that's, and how about the catcher? Is there any limit on how many times the catcher?
So the catcher can come out 3 more times. And
Okay.
so, yeah, we have to limit it a little bit, but yeah, for us to be able to send our catcher out and say, okay, let's calm our pitcher down, let's take a little bit of break, and that can be really effective at times.
Oh, I didn't realize that those are basically like timeouts then in other
Yeah.
sports. And
Yep.
you have to use those strategically. You only get so many. It's not like unlimited.
Right.
Yeah, I want to go out there and talk. Huh, okay. So how's the season been going so far? How many games? I should be bringing this all up on the AIA page here.
It's been a really strong start for us. We were in the Valley a couple weekends ago, and we went down, we played a PowerPoint game against Highland Prep and won that. And then we stayed in the Valley Thursday through Saturday and played in a tournament. We went 3-1 in our tournament,
Nice.
which it was one of the better starts we've had. I mean, it's a tough tournament. You're playing a lot of Valley schools and a lot of sometimes some bigger schools, especially schools that have had better weather to practice in and be on the field. And then we didn't play our week after that, but we played 2 games this week. We lost a really tough game at Chino Valley the other day in 10 innings.
Wow, yeah.
It was the kind of game you would say, oh, this is a great classic kind of baseball game if you win, but it was more of a heartbreaker for us to lose in the 10th inning. We hung in there as long as we could. It's really hard on the road in extra innings.
Yeah.
And then we beat Globe on Wednesday here at home.
Yeah.
So right now we're 2-1 in PowerPoint games, and then overall 5-2. So it's been a good start.
So just like you said, when you win those games, hey, it feels good. All right, let's go. But in those losses, there are a lot of things that can be learned that you can take away from them and improve on,
Yeah.
or work on. So looking at that, Yuma Catholic probably is. I mean, they're strong in everything. It seems like. Were they pretty strong?
Yuma
baseball
Catholic
team?
is the state runner-up from last year. We jumped out and had a lead on them in the tournament, and I just couldn't quite hold it. But I think we walked away with a lot of confidence knowing we could play with a team of that ability.
Yes.
I mean, you've got to respect teams like Yuma Catholic and Gilbert Christian and some of these teams that have been really good year in, year out. And for us just to walk away saying, okay, I feel like we can compete with them.
Yeah.
We know what we would need to do if we saw them again. I think that left us with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, because that was a close game.
Very close.
That was a close game. How did that game feel for you, Michael?
Felt like we were in there for first 3 innings.
Uh-huh.
Had a lead, felt like we were gonna win, and then just kind of slowed down a little bit. Didn't keep our energy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that energy level, keeping that up, huh?
Yeah.
Did you feel the energy, did it go on like both sides, defensively, offensively, or what did that feel like, Zach?
100%. It
Yeah.
was like a different type of feel when you're up against one of those teams. There's a big excitement. I know I went up to him once and I was like, this is really exciting, this is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that in our program we haven't been able to do recently.
Mm-hmm.
And to go against one of those huge teams and jump out to a big lead and compete against them is really big.
Mm-hmm. So I noticed though, and then most recent game, Globe, that seemed like pretty lopsided, 13-3. So that was seems like an easier game for you. How do you keep the intensity up? So if you're playing Yuma Catholic, and you know they're a legit team and you got to bring it, but then you maybe play a team that isn't as good, what do you do to keep that intensity up? Because you know that if you don't bring it, anybody can beat you. I mean, anyone can win a game, so you want to make sure against those teams that aren't as strong that you're playing still at that high level, and it seems like that's what you did in that Globe game. You stayed up there. So what do you focus on, or what do you do, Zach, to keep that intensity up?
So we have a coach, Coach Mullen.
Okay.
Every time we get a lead, we come in to hit the next inning. He wants us to double that lead. That's how we stay ready and excited and everything. We try to double it.
Gotcha. How about for you, Michael? Is there something that you kind of do for yourself, to keep the intensity up?
I'm not just kind of having fun out there.
Okay.
Like having fun, just being out there with all my friends,
Mm-hmm.
getting to have fun out there, wanting to be really competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of brings like adrenaline. Makes you just want to just beat that team by as many runs as you can.
Mm-hmm. What do you do, Coach, from a coaching perspective, when you are playing teams that are on different levels like that?
Yeah, I think we try to make sure we're respecting every opponent. Globe had some good players, and they came out and they actually jumped out to a quick lead on us the other day. And so it's just kind of understanding that every game's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking with our team a lot about different ways to win games. I mean, some games are going to be defensive battles, and we're going to pitch, and we've got to be really close in the field. And then some games are going to be a little more offensive for us, and we've got to go out and really score those runs. And so, I don't think we scored in the first couple innings. Then all of a sudden, in the third and fourth inning, we put up 12 runs, and then 13 in the fifth inning to win. And so I think just understanding that every game's a little bit different, and that there's a different combination to get to try to win those games is important for our guys. You can feel it in some of those games where if you do jump out to lead, you start to relax. And so for us to get our guys to understand, okay, we're not going to relax. We maybe relaxed a little too much against Yuma Catholic when we had a lead, and we didn't keep up the intensity and focus that we needed. And so those are learning experiences for us. You don't like to lose, but you want to take every opportunity to learn from it when that happens.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think our guys are doing that, and it's just going to help us out as we go further in the season.
Gotcha. So if you're just tuning in or just started watching on our KRIM radio Facebook page, talking with the Longhorn Baseball coach and a couple of the players, Coach Brian Young and Michael and Zach, and talking about a defensive game. It looked like that Blue Ridge game was a defensive game, the score 3-1.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that game, Michael. How was that for you?
It was back and forth. It was
Okay.
just a lot of pitching,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of trying to keep up the energy from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of quieter at first, and then it was just really towards the end, just kind of pitching, just trying to hold our lead, and kept coming back in the dugout. Like Zach said, Coach McGowan kept saying double it, but it's kind of one of those games where you're trying to hold your lead, trying to stay in there.
Mm-hmm. So in that game, was it more a case of just there wasn't a lot of hitting, or were there a lot of great defensive plays, or like a combination of both? How was that?
I think it was probably a combination of both.
Combination of both?
Yeah, I think we were probably stranding a lot of runners on base, but there
Oh,
was
that's-
also a lot of great plays, some good pitching.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So you left a few runners on base that game, Zach?
Yeah, we definitely left too many on base for sure.
Gotcha. Oh, that's tough, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, Blue Ridge is an opponent we know well. We actually scrimmaged with them the week before, and then to get down in the tournament and play with them. We we're rivals with them. I think we're pretty friendly rivals, and a lot of our players know their players. And it was a tough defensive game. Evan Finkler pitched and started the game for us, and I think he pitched the first, those tournament games are 6-inning games. He pitched the first 5 innings and was really, really strong. Pitched a great game. Zach came in with a couple runners on at the end to close out that game for us and get a save. And so it's Coach Nossick, Scott Nossick comes out and he's helping with our pitchers. He loves a good defensive battle. He loves a good low-scoring game. I love us to put up 13 runs every game, but that's the kind of game that Coach Nossick really he loves to see. We play defense and we pitch well, and so that was a different combination than what we needed to do against Globe the other day.
So what is one defensive play you remember from that game that stood out in that game, Zach? Can you think of one that kind of had a big impact? Or you, Michael, either one, you guys, if you know.
I can't really think of one, but I just remember me wanting the ball and coming in and trying to get the save.
Gotcha.
I just wanted the ball so badly.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. So you come in, how was that coming in with runners on? And where were they? Were they in scoring position?
They were on
or-
first and second to start.
Okay.
They bunted them over to second and third, I think.
So there was one out or no outs?
No outs when I came.
No outs.
Yeah.
So runners on first and second, no outs, and this is the last inning?
Last inning, yeah.
Okay. So they bunted them over. Was that the first out?
Yes, sir.
All right, so then what was the second out?
I think it was a strikeout.
Strikeout. Okay, and then how about the third?
Fly out.
Fly out.
Yeah,
Oh.
he put in his best hitter who had been kind of had an injury, and he had a long fly ball.
Yeah.
It looked good off
Oh.
the bat, but it went out to our right fielder, and Nolan Keeney caught that for that last out. But yeah, it was good. It was a good inning.
Was it pretty deep? I mean, was Nolan back pretty far, or?
I wouldn't think so.
It was deeper than I wanted to see it at this point.
Yeah.
You're like, you were holding your breath for a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah, because they're thinking, oh, walk off, and it's like, nope, no, not today.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So, next game is Monday, tentatively.
Yes.
You know, we have some weather coming in and should be getting some more snow later tonight. So it is dependent on the fields drying out and you and the softball team being able to play on Monday. But if those games do go, it's pretty cool what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and so we've set up a few different game themes for this year. Monday is supposed to be our first one. It's going to be our first responders night. Basically, anybody in our community that's a first responder is invited in, free admission, and then they are being given a free hot dog and soda down the concession stand by our band program, and so they're contributing as well. We just wanted to do something to kind of say thank you to all the people that do so much to keep us safe in our community, and just kind of recognize them at a game.
Okay, that's really cool. That is really cool. And that is Monday at 6 p.m.?
Yes.
And that's against ALA Ironwood. So how's it been being in the Metro? And when did you guys get moved into the Metro? Was it a couple years ago?
No, this is the first year for
This
us.
first
And
year,
so ALA Ironwood is our first region game.
Okay.
It's kind of different not being in the East. You know, we're not going to see we're going to see Sholo, and we saw Blue Ridge down in the tournament.
Yeah.
We're not going to see Snowflake and Holbrook and Winslow. It's just some of
Yeah.
the teams that we've been playing year in and year out.
Mhm.
So it's a little different. You know, there's an adjustment. I think there's the advantage is a lot of times when we travel, we're going to be in warm weather. We're going to be on nice green fields.
Yeah.
But you kind of miss some of those relationships that we've built over the years with some of the coaches in those programs and the traditional rivals. We're also going to get tested. I mean, we've got Northwest Christian and Gilbert Christian in our region. Both of those teams were in the semifinals last year, and so when you play 4 games against those teams on your regular season schedule, there's plenty of strength there. So
Wow.
yeah, we'll see it.
Yeah, it was interesting with basketball this season,
Mhm.
and to see the difference between the girls and boys teams, where it seemed like, or it was a case, the boys basketball teams, man, strong in the Valley. And you look in the top 10, and I think half of them were
Right.
Valley teams. But then the girls, there was only one team, and us, Payson, that we're in the Metro, but I don't really consider us a Valley team. We're not a
Right.
Valley team. But yeah, it was different how the girls, man, all their top teams were the North teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
North and East, and there was only one Metro team. But
Yeah.
so in baseball, what does it look like? Does it look like a lot of the top teams are Valley teams in
Yeah.
baseball?
And I think part of what you're seeing is those players down there have every opportunity in the world to play club very easily. You know,
Yeah.
they're like our kids. If they go down to the Valley and play club, they're driving every day for practice and to be down there to play in games. The Valley kids, you know, all the opportunities are right in front of them. They have the nice weather all the time.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't wake up to snow today and cancel their hitting practice like we did. So,
No.
you know, it's not something that we're gonna dwell on and complain about, but it's just kind of the reality that it's gonna be highly competitive for us. You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna get tested, and you go through that region, and if we can be fairly successful in that region, then we're gonna be in good shape in the PowerPoints.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that's true, and it's good. You know, it's good. You want to play good teams because, that, like you said, that really challenges you and gives you opportunities to get better.
Yeah, on the flip side, our kids are tough kids. We started practice yesterday at 44 degrees and it's raining and, you know, our kids, they didn't complain. They're out on the field, they're doing what they need to do and they show up every day and we just deal with whatever we have to deal with. Sometimes we end up in the gym and, you know, I think it creates a toughness for us and a little bit of an identity of being kind of a North school where we're trying to represent what we can do and I think there's a good aspect from that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be good get some of these teams to come up early in the season when it might be cold because again the baseball games at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, it can be cold out there. So
it can be. Some of those kids, just depending on what some nights look like, some of those valley kids may not see the kind of temperatures that we're a little more used to. So we may have an advantage during some home games.
Yeah, they're seeing their breath and stuff, and they're not used to that. So looking at the team, looking at the roster. Boy, this is accurate. Zach, you're the only senior?
Yes, sir.
Whoa, so this is a young team.
It's a young team, yeah.
Wow, we got some sophomores, freshmen, a lot of juniors, but it's because of that very large junior class.
Yeah.
It seems like in all of the sports, you know, a lot of juniors there. Next year, seniors. Wow. So, Zach, what are you looking at doing after school? What are you looking at?
I'd like to keep playing baseball somewhere, but going with that, I'd like to study to be a physical therapist.
Oh, nice. Very nice. So, Michael, man, you, and I know, you know, talking, you got to get through this year, and hopefully this year is, you know, a great year for you guys, but then, man, next year, it's like you and that junior class are going to be, how many seniors? 1, 2, if you all come out, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 7 or 8? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's cool to see us have some success right now with a relatively young team, knowing that, you know, unfortunately in the future we wouldn't have Zach, but we'll have a great group coming back. So hopefully we're being built to last right now.
Mm-hmm. And I know also listening and in the different sports, some really great players in the middle school as well. I don't know how baseball, but I'm hearing, you know, with basketball and some other sports.
Yeah, so this is the first year where our middle school sports moved around a little bit. So middle school baseball happened in August and September, and then right now they're playing football. And so Coach Burke is out coaching the 7th and 8th graders, and my staff and I got to spend quite a bit of time with the 7th and 8th graders in August and September.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of a nice flip. You know, we're going to be a little more familiar with those kids as they come in as freshmen next year. So I really like the change that we've made, and I think it's going to be good for our players. I know Coach Burke is excited because they're playing football now, and as soon as their season ends, they're almost going to be freshmen, and they're going to roll right into 9th grade football. So.
Yeah. No, that's cool. He's very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness, he posted the schedule yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it.
He was so excited, and yeah, he. I don't think he has quite the same friendly relationship with Blue Ridge that you have, because
No,
putting in lowercase and. He likes poking. He likes poking.
Yeah, I'll let him talk about that.
Yeah, no, too much. Well, again, Monday, if again the fields are dried out and can be played on, and I'm sure it'll be posted on social media.
Absolutely.
If the game, either way, if it's canceled or if it is still on, but that would be a great time to come out. Again, if you're a first responder in public safety or know someone, let them know about that game. They can come out and get free entry into the game. Also, a meal. From the
Yeah, a
snack bar.
hot dog and a soda down at the snack bar.
A
Yep.
hot dog and soda. That is cool. Well, thank you guys
Yes,
for
sir.
coming on this morning, and good luck, you know, with the season. And I know I'm over there announcing softball games, but I hear, you know, so hopefully there will be a lot of cheering coming from up on the baseball field.
Yeah, that's what we hope. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you everyone for listening and watching this morning, and enjoy the nice cool weather out there today. Again, hopefully some more snow this evening. But again, thank you to One Time Plumber for sponsoring our Community Spotlight program. Time to get to the music now with some Neil Young, Cars, Donnie Iris, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.